Lean. Good afternoon, my dear Ben Johnson. Good afternoon, my dear Mansi. Good afternoon, my dear Bibina.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
my dear.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, all of you.
Good
Anmol.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my dear Anmol. Do you have any idea about algebraic expressions? My dear children, do you remember any points related to algebraic expressions? What are the points?
Sir, they'll have expressions and constants.
Okay. Any more points? Any more points related to algebraic expressions? Do you remember any points? What are the points you remembered? Just tell me. Okay, I will ask you one by one questions. Some questions. What is meant by variable? What are called variables in
So the
math?
unknown term.
Yes, unknown quantities. Unknown quantities. Variable means unknown. In mathematics, the unknown quantities are called variables. Generally, which English letters are used to denote variables? Do you
Sorry,
know?
X, Y.
X,
Sir,
Y, Z.
X, Y.
Generally, we use now come to the next term, constant. What is meant by constant in the mathematical terminology? What is meant by constant? Variable
A
means
repeating term.
not my dear Santi, not repeating term. Constant. That is nothing but
A whole number.
known, well known quantities. The known quantities are called constants. All real numbers can be taken as constants. All whole numbers, all integers, all rational numbers. So, known quantities. Do you know which English letters are used to denote constants or arbitrary constants? To denote an arbitrary constant or any constant, which English letters are used? Do you know this point?
Sir, A.
Yes. Generally, small letter A, comma small letter B, comma small letter C, comma small letter. In indirectly in English alphabet, in English alphabet, the first letters of English alphabet are generally used to denote constants or arbitrary constants. Like this, the first letters of English alphabet, first five letters or first six letters, last five letters or last six letters of English alphabet are used to denote variables. Okay. 5 minus 7, 2 by 3, minus 5 by 7, root 3, 1 by root 3, etc. are constants. All real numbers, all rational numbers, all irrational numbers, all integers, all constant, all whole numbers, all natural numbers can be treated as constants. Okay, my children. These are basic points for this chapter polynomials. For the basic for this polynomials chapter, you should know these points well. You should know these points well. That is why I'm explaining these points again. Next term. Do you know what is meant by a term?
Sir, monomial, binomial, and trinomial.
Sir, and polynomial.
That is a classification of expressions. That is monomial,
Sir,
binomial.
terms means x, y, and 2x.
Yes, 2x minus 5, 3 minus 5y. Okay. It may be constant term or a variable term. There are two types of terms, variable term and a constant term. Term is the product of some variables and constant. See this example, my dear children. See these examples. First, see the definition of a term. The product of some variables with some constant. It is called a term. In this example, I have written 1, 2, 3, 4 examples. 4 examples. In this example, 3 is a constant numerical value, x is a variable. Yes or no? The product of some constant with some variables. In this second example, I multiplied the variable y with minus 3. Understood this point, my dear children? In this example, third example, I multiplied x square into y. Here x is one variable, y is another variable. Two variables are there in this term. And this is multiplied by a constant 2. In this fourth example, here yz, two variables are multiplied, and that product is multiplied by 2 by 3, some constant. Understood these examples, my dear children? What is meant by a term and examples of terms?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Here, in a term, in any term, there are two parts. Namely numerical coefficient and literal coefficient. Numerical coefficient and literal coefficient. Let us take this first term 3x. In this term, to know the numerical coefficient, or we can simply say the coefficient of the term. Sometimes we can use this term also, coefficient of the term. What is the coefficient of the term? Close all the literals, all the letters in this term, all the letters in the term. What is left here? If you close all the letters written in the term, then we get numerical coefficient of the term, or simply coefficient of the term. And here 3x means 3 into x. So here letter coefficient is x. Close that numerical coefficient, we get a literal coefficient. Minus 3y. Minus 3y. Can you tell me what is a numerical coefficient and what is a literal coefficient?
Sir, minus 3 is numerical coefficient and literal coefficient is y.
Yes, very good. In this example, 2x square y. What is numerical coefficient and what is a literal coefficient?
So numerical coefficient is 2.
Yes, 2.
Literal coefficient is x square y.
Yes, very good, my dear Srujana. X square y. X square y is said to be literal coefficient, whereas 2 is said to be numerical coefficient. Understood, my dear children, how to identify numerical coefficient and literal coefficient in a term?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you
Yes, sir.
identify if some terms are given? If some terms are given, can you identify what are the numerical coefficients and what is the literal coefficients? The given
Yes, sir.
terms.
Yes, sir.
So that's all. Okay. Now, name of the terms. I will tell you how do you give name of a term. How do you give the name of a term? This is one term. Yes or no?
Sir, can you move the screen little, sir? Yes, sir.
Is it okay now? 3x is one term. Yes or no? How do you
Sir, little more, can you move right side, sir?
now?
Now, okay, sir.
3x is a one term. You know this one. How do you name this term?
Sir, monomial.
No. I
Sir,
am not.
no.
I'm not asking the classification of expressions. That is a classification of algebraic expressions. That is a classification of
Sir,
algebraic.
3 multiplied with x.
Yes, that is meaning. But here, this name of this term is x term. What are the variables involved in that term? We give the name of the term. This is called x term. X term. We close the numerical coefficient. Suppose 5x square. How do you name this term?
Sir, x into x term or x square term.
X square term. X square term. How do you name this term?
Sir, yes,
Sir,
xy
xy.
term.
Yes, xy term. Xy term. Like this, we have to give name of a term to understand that polynomial easily. This term is called x term. Just by observing the variables involved, we consider them to give the name of a term. We give importance to the variables involved in a term to give name of a term. What are the variables involved in this term? Only x. Only x is involved. So this is called x term. What are the variables involved here? X square. X square is involved. So this is called x square term. In this example, xy, these two variables are involved. So xy term. Understood this point, my dear children? How to give the name of a term? What is the name of this term? What is
Sir,
this?
x y square.
X?
Y square.
You have to tell me like this. What is this term called? XY square term. What is this term called? XY term. What is this term called? X square term. What is this term called? X term. Like this, you should know how to call, how to name a term, how to call a term, how to pronounce a term. Okay, my children.
Okay, sir.
How to pronounce, how to call a term, how this term is called? X term. What is this term called? X square term. What is this term called? I will ask you later when we are discussing polynomials. I will ask you what is this term called. You have to tell that one. That is why I am repeating these points again and again. Okay, my children. What is this term called? X y square term.
square.
So how to call a term? Okay, my children, you should learn this point. Next point. Next point. Algebraic expressions. Algebraic expression. What is meant by algebraic expression? Do you remember what is meant by algebraic expression?
Sir, it has both variables and constants.
Any more definition?
Sir, example 3x minus 2 or 3x minus 4y.
Yes, 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 like this. Algebraic expression. Simply to say, an algebraic expression is formed by adding some terms. That's all. By adding some terms, we get an algebraic expression. Or we get an algebraic See this definition, my children, algebraic expression. We get an algebraic expression by adding some terms. We can define an algebraic expression like this. Or we can define like this also. We get an algebraic expression by connecting or by joining the terms. By joining the terms by plus a sign or minus a sign. By adding or by subtracting some terms. For example, here 2x is a first term, 3y is a second term. These two terms are connected by here plus a sign. Then this is called an algebraic expression. This mathematical sentence is called an algebraic expression. In English, you know sentences. Yes or no? Sentences you have studied in English or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Simple sentence, complex sentence, different kinds of sentences you have learned. Similarly, in mathematics, algebraic expressions are nothing but sentences, mathematical sentences. Algebraic expressions are nothing but mathematical sentences. But we have given a particular name, they are called algebraic expressions. Okay, so in this algebraic expression, how many terms are there, how many terms are joined, or how many terms are connected?
So two terms are connected.
What are the two terms are connected here?
So
Sir,
2x and
2x and
3y.
3y.
Yes, 2x and 3y. Just I am writing here in a short form, A dot capital letter E. A dot capital letter E stands for algebraic expressions. In this column, I am writing algebraic expressions. Algebraic expressions. And in this column, I am writing terms of the algebraic expression. In this expression, in this algebraic expression, what are the terms? Tell me. 2x, comma, 3y. Two terms, we had to separate them by comma. Here, we connected, we have joined these two terms by plus sign. Okay. Then tell me what are the terms in this expression? What is the first term? In this
Sir,
expression,
2x.
2x. What is the second term?
Sir, 3y.
Not
Minus 3.
Yes, minus 3y. Give importance to minus also. Don't ignore minus sign. Minus 3y is the second term. Understood this point, my children? Here first term is 2x and the second term is minus 3y. Not only 3y. Okay, please remember this point. Don't ignore minus sign. Don't ignore minus sign when you are telling terms of an algebraic expression. Can you tell me how many terms are there?
So 3.
Yes, 3 terms. Tell me what is the first term in this algebraic
So 5x square.
5x square. Keep comma. That is the first term. What is the second term?
Sir, minus
Minus
3x.
3x.
Yes, minus 3x is the second term. What is the third term?
Sir, 2.
Yes, 2. If it is a positive term, no need to write here plus. But whereas if it is a negative term, you should write a negative sign also. Don't ignore negative sign. Okay.
Sir, can you move the note little up?
Who is this? What is my dear Srijana?
Sir, can you move the note little up?
Okay. Now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Last line also visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, in this last example, what are the terms of this algebraic expression?
Sir, 7.
7. This is the first term.
Sir, 10y.
10y is the second term.
So minus 4 is
Minus 4z is the third term.
5.
Sir, 5x.
5x is the fourth term. Understood, my dear children? Can you identify the terms of an algebraic expression? If
Yes,
an
sir.
algebraic
sir.
expression or if a
Yes, sir.
polynomial is given, both are very closer to each other, algebraic expressions and polynomials. I will tell you what is the difference between algebraic expressions and polynomials. Just a small difference between algebraic expressions and polynomials. Nothing else. Nothing else. Now we will discuss algebraic expressions and polynomials comparison later. We discuss that point later. Before that, like terms, unlike terms. Let us discuss this point. Like terms and unlike terms. Do you remember this point? Like terms. Do you remember this point, my dear children? Like terms and unlike terms.
So like terms will have same variables, sir.
Yes, very good, very good. Same variables. Like terms are formed with the same variables. With the same variables. I will write here like terms are formed with the same variables. With the same variables. This is the first condition. And the second condition is the powers. The powers of the variables. The powers of these variables. The powers of these variables are the same. If these two conditions are satisfied by given terms, then they are called like terms. They are called like terms. Otherwise, they are not like terms. For example, if you observe this algebraic expression, how many terms are there? Can you tell me? Count the number of terms in this algebraic expression, my dear children. How many terms are there?
6.
Total 6 terms are there. Yes or no? Total 6 terms are there. What is the first term? Can you tell me, Kavya? What is the first term in this algebraic expression? Kavya? Yahuna Singh? Anyone
Yes,
of you? Tell me, what is the first term in this algebraic expression?
sir. 5.
5x square. What is the second term?
Sir. 3x. Sorry, 2x.
Huh? What is the second term?
3x.
Yes. What is the third term?
2x square.
Minus 2x square. Previously
Yes.
also I told you, don't ignore minus sign. Don't ignore minus sign when you are telling a term. What is the next term?
plus 1
Yes. What is the next term?
minus 50x plus
What is the
3
next term?
plus 3.
3. Out of these three terms, what is this first term called? What is this first term called?
The x square term.
Yes. Previously also I told you. I repeated that point also. You have to tell the name of the term. How to call a term. How do you call this term? This is x square term. What is this term?
The x term.
X term. What is this term called?
The x square term, sir.
X square term. What is this term called?
Sir, there is no variable.
So what is this term called? Constant term. If there is no variable, the term is called constant term.
Constant term.
Okay. What is this term called?
The x term.
Yes. What is this term called?
Constant term.
Yes. So if you observe these terms in this algebraic expression, here is x square term, here also x square term. We can add or we can subtract like terms. We can simplify them. So 5x square minus 2x square. What will you get here? 5 minus 2. Simply
So
take
3x square.
yes, 3x square. We have to simplify coefficients of the like terms. We have to simplify coefficients. What is coefficient of this term? 5. What is the coefficient of this term? Minus 2. 5 minus 2. What will you get? Write the two numbers side by side. We get 5 minus 2. What will you get? 3. Yes or no? You have to do all these steps in your mind only. You have to do all these steps in your mind. So x square terms were simplified because they are like terms. Like terms can be added or subtracted. So here we have subtracted because minus sign is there. Now this is x term. This is also x term. Then how do you simplify these two terms?
Sir, answer is minus 47x.
Very good. 3 minus 50. Previously also I told you, in your mind, separate the coefficients and write them side by side. Write the coefficients of these like terms side by side in your mind. That is 3 minus 50. What is the value of 3 minus 50? Minus 47. Then we write that term as it is term, x term. So minus 47x. And x terms were simplified. And what are the terms left here? Constants. Constants were left. Here plus 1, here plus 3. Plus 1 plus 3. Write these two terms in your mind, side by side. Then what will you get? 1 plus 3?
Sir, plus 4.
So after simplifying the like terms, finally we get this algebraic expression. This is a procedure. This is a procedure to write the given algebraic expression in a simplified form. By adding or by subtracting the like terms, we have written the given algebraic expression in the short form. Okay, my dear children. Got this point? Understood this point or not?
Yes, sir.
These points we have already learned in earlier class, in 8th class, and moreover in 7th class also. You have started this concept, algebraic expression, in 7th class itself. You have learned some basic points you have learned in 7th class as well as in 8th class also. We are just recollecting, we are revising that points. because that points are very, very useful in understanding the polynomials chapter. In understanding the polynomials chapter, this previous knowledge is very important. That is why I am discussing these previous points. Okay, my dear children.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Now come to the difference between algebraic expression and a polynomial. What is the difference? What is the difference between an algebraic expression and a polynomial? Algebraic expression and polynomials are very closer concepts, but a small difference is there, a small difference. Now let us discuss what is the difference between an algebraic expression and a polynomial. Example, to understand the difference between an algebraic expression and a polynomial. If you observe this expression, this is an algebraic expression. If you observe this mathematical sentence, this is an algebraic expression. And moreover, if you observe carefully each and every term, here variable is in the numerator, here variable is in the denominator, here also variable is in the denominator. But in the polynomial, remember this point, my dear children, in the polynomial, variables should not be in the denominator. This is because x square in the denominator, variables should not be written. If you wrote variables in the denominator, that is not said to be a polynomial. That is not said to. Polynomials is also a mathematical sentence. Algebraic expression is also a mathematical sentence. But in these two mathematical sentences, a small difference is in the denominator, variables should not be written. If you write variables in the denominator, then it is not said to be a polynomial. It is not said to be a polynomial. Okay, my children, understood this point? Variables should not be written in a denominator. And another example.
Sir, can you little bit move the screen right side, sir? Yes, sir.
See this mathematical sentence, 5x square plus 3 by x power minus 1 plus 5 by x power minus 2. If you observe this mathematical sentence, first of all, we have to simplify these two terms. Okay. We don't come to the conclusion directly. We don't come to the conclusion directly. We don't come to one decision directly without simplifying the terms. 5x square plus 1 by x power minus 1. How do you write? What will you get? Tell me. 1 by x power minus 1. Can you tell me the final result of what is 1 by x power minus 1?
Sir, x power 1, sir.
X power minus 1. I am asking. Ah, sir, very good. X power 1. So finally we get to 3x. Yes or no? By simplifying this second term, we get to 3x. Yes or no? Just we
Yes,
move.
sir.
We
Sir,
move
then minus 5x square.
Very good. 5x square. We simplified these two terms and we wrote that mathematical sentence. Now, if we observe this mathematical sentence, it is said to be polynomial because variable is not in the denominator. It is an algebraic expression as well as a polynomial also. Is an algebraic
Sir, we can't cut that 5x square and minus 5x square.
we
Sir.
can cut that one. We can cut that two terms. We can cut that two terms. But here I'm focusing. Here I'm focusing on what is a polynomial and what is the an algebraic expression. Just to discuss this point, we can simplify these terms. 5x square minus 5x square gets cancelled. Okay. Finally, we get 3x. So it is an algebraic expression as well as a polynomial also. This is one condition. In the denominator, variables should not be written. And another difference, second difference, see the second difference. Two root x plus 5 square. 2 root x plus 5 square. First of all, we had to.
Sir, you wrote y square, sir.
Yes, y square. Okay. 2 root x plus y square. 2 root x plus y square. First of all, we had to remove the radical sign. We write the term in the exponential form. How do you write this root x in the exponential form?
Sir, 2x 1 by 2.
No, root x. Previously also I told you, root x is written as x power 1 by 2 in the exponential form.
Sir, that only I also said, sir.
That only you said?
Sir, I didn't say the power. I missed it out.
Plus y square. 2x power 1 by 2 plus y square. In this case, if we observe the powers of the variables always should be whole numbers. Otherwise, it is not a polynomial. The powers of variables, after simplification, the powers of the variables should be a whole number. Means it may be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 and so on. Non-negative integer. Powers of the variables should be non-negative integers. Then the mathematical sentence is called polynomial. Otherwise, it is called an algebraic expression. This is called only an algebraic expression, not a polynomial. This is This is the reason we are taking this one as an algebraic expression but not a polynomial, because see here I wrote that reason. This is an example for an algebraic expression but not a polynomial, because the powers or exponents of the variables is not non-negative integers. Here two variables are involved in this algebraic expression. The power of the variable x is 1 by 2. It is not a non-negative integer. It is not a non-negative integer. It is a rational number. Whereas in this case, y, the power of the exponent of the variable y is a non-negative integer. It is okay. In this case of y variable, it is okay. But whereas in the case of x, that condition is failed. That is why we say that this mathematical sentence is not a polynomial. This is another difference between an algebraic expression and a polynomial. Please keep these 2 points in your mind, my dear children, while you are comparing an algebraic expression and a polynomial. They will give you in exam some mathematical sentences. You have to identify which mathematical sentences are algebraic expressions and which are polynomials. Okay, my dear children, understood this difference? You have to understand these two differences. Okay.
Sir,
Okay, my dear children. Now the time is 3 past 19 minutes.
sir,
What, my dear Srijana?
sir, can you show the before page 1 minute?
What? Sorry?
Can you show the last page once?
Previous page, last page.
Yes,
This
sir.
one? This one only?
Yes, sir.
Now you can leave the meeting, my dear children.
Thank you, sir.
Take rest. Take care of your health, my dear children. Stay at home. Stay
Thank you, sir.
safe. Sanitize
Thank you, sir.
your hands frequently and maintain social distance of 2 meters
Thank you,
to
sir.
others. And write the classwork notes.
Thank you, sir.
Submit your classwork notes in the Google Classroom. Your classwork note submission will be calculated for your internal marks. Please keep this point in your mind, my dear children. Thank you all, my dear children.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my dear Sri Darshan. Thank you. What, my dear Mahima and Santi? Still, you are online?
Sir, I want the screenshots.
Which page, ma?
Sir, the before page. The first page, sir.
This one?
Sir, the first page, what you took. This one only, I think.
This only. Polynomials.
Yes, sir.
Take this as a screenshot.
Sir, 1 minute.
Okay. What, my dear Mahima? Still you are online? Mahima, are you there?
Sir, can you move the page little up? Yeah, sir. Next page, sir.
See? Okay, position of the page to take
Yes, sir.
screenshot. Huh?
So 1 minute. Sir, can you move the page little right side?
See?
So move the page little up, sir. So little more. Your name is covering for me. So little up if you take, I'll write, sir.
See?
So little more. Yes, sir. Fine. So next page.
Okay, position of this page.
So the first line I'm not able to see.
See? Now?
Sir, move it little up, sir. Last line I'm not able to see. So little more.
Now?
Yes, sir. Next page. So little down. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma? Please. What, Mahima? Still you are online? You have not left the meeting? Mahima, are you there online?